From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning, this is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Friday, January 31st. Our first story this morning, bird flu cases have been reported across the U.S. and Nebraska. Ag officials say the first case was reported in a backyard poultry flock in Kearney County. They say bird flu has been a problem since 2022, popping up periodically, mostly during the migratory seasons. State veterinarian of the Nebraska Department of Agriculture says it's devastating for backyard producers because they're also considered pets. One of our reporters did confirm with health officials in Kearney County the backyard flock there has been depopulated, and they're monitoring the flock's owner for any flu-like symptoms. And with that, we toss it over to the national side with the spread across the country. People are seeing the effects with prices of eggs increasing. And according to reports from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, more than 13 million egg-laying hens died in December due to the virus, the most of any month last year. A dozen large grade A eggs cost an average of $4.15 in the U.S. last month, and according to the CBS News Price Tracker, that's a more than 60% increase from the $2.51 it cost a year ago. Your third story, turning over to our crime tracker, 34-year-old Richard Thomas of Lincoln is facing one count each of first-degree assault and assault by strangulation after he had a protection order filed against him days before this attack. According to court documents, they allege Thomas came into a woman's apartment unannounced earlier this month, started strangling her, and then punched her in the ribs. Several days later, the woman went to the hospital where she was taken into emergency surgery for internal bleeding rib fractures. His bond has been set at $150,000 and is due back in court in March. Fourth story this morning, legal roller coaster against Jeff Fortenberry slowly coming to an end with the Department of Justice dismissing the case over alleged lying and illegal campaign contributions. Fortenberry releasing a statement saying in his part, quote, "I want to thank all who loved and supported my family and me through this ordeal." President Trump shared his thoughts on the dismissal, posting to social media saying the charges were, quote, "totally baseless," adding, "that scam is now over." And wrapping things up, the city of Lincoln is taking steps to revitalize the Belmont neighborhood, hosting an open house to hear ideas from the community. Once a vision is set in place, the city will then move forward with a framework later this year. The open house yesterday was the first of several the city will be putting on in Belmont. The next one will likely be in March. But if you live in the Belmont area and want to share your ideas, the city has more information on its website, and we've got the link in this story at 1011now.com. That is your Morning Pulse for this Friday morning, and we'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day forecast.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.